Hello there. Today we're going to be making a twin-floored paper press out in this little clearing. So, it's going to be a framed 4x4 house with a workshop area below. So there's going to be a 4-block gap in between each of these pillars. Just have to make sure that's measured out, and I'll need to move this one out 1 block just to ensure that everything stays in line. Now if you look in the background, you can see I've been advancing some of the buildings. The Woodsman's Lodge is now stone brick as the first floor instead of wooden planks. So we're going to be using stone bricks for the first floor of this as well, because as materials advance, along with the quarry of this area, giving them a good amount of quarried stone, which is the primary piece of material required for stone bricks, things are gonna take a more industrial and advanced look as the age goes on. This is a far more practical than luxury thing, as this is a sugarcane pulp paper press, which involves boiling sugarcane like fibers and then bleaching them in a cauldron before adding white glue to cement them together. You'll see small areas like this pop up from time to time. They're left over from terraforming. This case, it was a cave that I covered over during the early days. I'll clear it out better after the video, but for now, we're going to focus more on the building itself. So, the workshop floor, so this section along here, is all going to be stone brick, because it's more functional than anything else. I'm going to pull that through to the rest. Where this entryway here is going to be different. I'm going to bring the logs up just on part of the building to have the second floor, which is going to be the housing area for the worker for this area. And I'm going to frame it out with basic wooden blocks to start with. Come back through later on and add more depth to it, but for now, some basic framing is a good start just to get the basic shape of the build done. Now I'm gonna have a 2-peaked design, as there's one upper floor and one lower floor. There we go. And now I'll need to set out that upper floor, the foundation of it. So I need to cast out this along the entire length of this section. There'll be a bit more of a rise in the roof for the other section near the workshop, but for this area, the roof's going to be more flat. Now I could pull this out and have all of this be the same height, and I'll think about that. But for this main area, I want this to be wood to match the living area above. So this is kind of the entryway. Well, one of the entryways. So this is going to be the main entrance. Over here, we're going to have the workshop entrance. Now, I'm going to bring this out with wooden logs to have a more framed out design. So it's tied in above the bricks, because this second floor is going to have a loft above it, so height's not as much of a problem. There we go. And I'll just pull these across as well to cap out this. And I'll break this down so that we could have the extra headspace just in the workshop proper, because it involves stacking cauldrons and other things. So this is the basic framed out idea. That to do with the depth of the building itself. Having true half slabs, especially in stone, would be very useful for something like this. We still don't have that, especially in the stone texture, so we just have to make do. I think I'll keep it. It's always difficult deciding what to do for stone. Could have a full block. No. I'll leave those open and then back them with... where is it? I'll back them with shelves in order to put a trapdoor set down later to have it blend into the door. Let's see. Oak shelves work pretty well for this. I'll be using them a lot for the roof as well. And that works for now. Now to move on to adding a bit more depth to these other areas. Just an offset window, I think. Yeah. This isn't on the snapshot, so baby zombies are still a problem. They can still get in a 1x1. But by raising a window up to 1.5 blocks like this, then they're not a problem. Let's cap that out, plus the foundation. And then nothing can get in, and you have still... you can still see in and out without too much problem. It just looks like an off-center window. And it's now level with the floor above. There we go. Now, I'm gonna have a thick wall here that separates the two. Just to ensure it. Replace that with stone. Yes. Because we can't mix slabs in vanilla. Not yet, at least. So, now it's time for some of the roofing. I'm gonna pull this out. Have a simple roofing pattern. And in the future, we can use slate bricks, because that's the next step. And we do have deep slate. It's not quite... not exactly what was used, but it is a variation of it. Because slate tiles, slate roof tiles, and clay roof tiles are a lot better in the long run than just wooden shingles, which is still what this is. Better than hay bale roof padding, but not by much. Pull that out, and it'll meet up with the wall right there. Now, having to do the backing of this. Could always do it like this. Where it's gone. What, 2 blocks of clearance? Yeah, it looks a little odd. Even with the roof framing. So I'll probably pull that forward just 1 block. This will give a weird internal look somewhat, but it's not a very big deal for the build. Just pulling out the shelves to cap that area. Then with 1 more. There you go. Now for the 2nd floor. Right after I finish these edge shingles. So, this is going to be a twinned roof, as I've said. And we're gonna need to light it up now that night's coming. Just so everyone can see a little better. Considered using night vision potions, but they give weird effects during weather. So there we go, that's the outside and the main bulk of that floor. I'm gonna raise this up by another 1 block, just so I can bring out the frame to be able to build the second floor roof. There we go. Just building out a still T-locked frame where it's tied in together. I'm not gonna put lanterns on this set. There we go. Now its transition to a thunderstorm. It is always fun when all of your village is made of wood. It is raining, so I don't think it will be a problem. But I'll just have to keep an extra eye out while I'm building, just to progress things. Move this out so I can use the shelves for backing. There we go. And move shelves on the other side. You only really need one, and then you can build off of that one shelf easy enough. There. So this is going to be a sharp peaked roof that's just got stairs. It's really going at it more than often. Did that? No, the house is fine. I do have a lightning rod with the sugar still down by the right, so I'm not too worried, but it's good just to keep an eye on the rest of the builds. And I'll bring it up to a true peak instead of the half peak that the other side had, just for a little bit more variation. It's a lot easier to build with a backing, so even if you use temporary blocks, it's a good idea. Now, outside of creative, roofing is always going to take the most time. It's one of the most expensive things, especially if you're using wood instead of stone, because there's no wood cutter, there's just a stone cutter. But if done right, it's worth the time. Now, to put out the window slats, or the window covers. By using trapdoors on each side, looks like you've just opened the windows from the inside and pushed them to each side. For here, I'm gonna have to use doubles. Gives it an open look from the outside as well as like a covered look from the inside, because the very corners of each edge is covered. And I'm gonna put those trapdoors in the corners here. There we go. Now I have taken the window out of this one side so that the ladder is a bit more secured. But that's the outside almost complete. Now for a paper press, it does actually need the press part. But first, it would be a good idea to be able to actually get to the second floor. And have the second floor lit up. Now, if you just have flat stairs, you'll see the roof will drip when it rains. So just go along with a second set of stairs like I've done in the other builds. Gives it a much more gradual transition, and it stops the roof from leaking. And I'm going to put 2 inversed ones here just so I can have lights. Now, over here, going to be the bed. So I'm going to cap the floor and then the sides. So the bed's going to be recessed in the same level as that. It's going to have a crafting table, could have a smoker or furnace for cooking, but cartography table, because it's a functional block, makes a little bit more sense. There we go. And now, still a simple white bed. You could do a black bed or a grey bed, because those are the access to the dyes, but not at the moment. And then a very simple table. One's flat and just an inverse chair. Heading down to the floor below, need to add some extra slabs to this floor, because lanterns only hang to full blocks. That's a full block. Now you see, it's got the same problem as the floor above, so just cap out this set. Gives it a more gradual look and more connected. And I'm just going to break out these two corners to have lanterns to light up the area. Both sides. So, we need a boiling station and we need a, fiber crushing station. Because the cartography table upstairs is going to be the same area we cut our paper into the sheets and into size. So, again, we can't use any dyes, so I'm going to be using powdered snow, which you can get from any snowy mountain peak. Well, most of the time. And I'm going to have campfires to bring this up. But I'm going to recess them into the floor to do this. Though people wouldn't look down there, it is good practice just to replace any natural blocks with foundation blocks. Now that it's a new day, the thunderstorm stopped. And I'll show you another little trick. If you put an anvil on top of a cauldron, it covers the area that is liquid, where you can actually see what's inside perfectly, down to the pixel. And then if you use the string method that I've already shown, you can make it look like it's a twin press, where they're going down in tandem to press down into the cauldron, or to cover it with a cap so it can boil better. Then if you use just a table set like this, and I'm gonna have to get rid of that, but reversed grindstones like this, it looks kind of like a grinding grid where you're pulping a paper or grinding down something on a conveyor belt. Then I'm gonna take an item frame just to start the chain and put some sugarcane in that to make it look like we're pressing sugarcane through this line of grindstones to flatten and separate the fibers so it can be boiled down. There we go. So this allows smoke to come up through so you can see that it's boiling in the color. And powdered snow doesn't melt in cauldrons, so that's the end of the set dressing for a paper press.